The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here with my esteemed colleagues, Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Our coverage tonight from Target Center as the Minnesota Timberwolves will be playing against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, they're enjoying a better winning percentage to this point than we saw last season, an encouraging sign for the players and the front office. Hey, we'll be keeping an eye on Andre Drummond tonight. 9th overall pick back in 2012 out of UConn. Shaq, he's still a very young big with a lot of room to grow.
He's an incredible offensive and defensive rebounder, Ernie. One of the hardest box-out assignments in the league since Dennis Rodman.
You know what, though? Last year he started taking some shots outside of the paint, which was surprising but good. Opened up his game a little bit. But he's best when he's finishing at the rim.
That'll wrap it up for now. Let's go courtside, and we'll see you later.
At the point, standing 6'2", number 7, Andre Miller. At forward, 6'11", out of Farragut Academy, number 21, Kevin Garnett. At center, 6'11", out of Kentucky, number 32, Karl Anthony Towns. And at guard, 6'7", he's from Western Carolina. Would you please welcome number 23, Kevin Martin. Starting at small forward, standing 6'8", number 22, Andrew Wiggins. The head coach of your home team is Flip Saunders. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Timberwolves.
It's the Pistons, and they're doing business on the road. It's an interconference NBA matchup. Glad to have you with us for more NBA action. I'm Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke reporting from the sidelines. The big story, the return of Ricky Rubio from being injured.
That was a short leave of absence, and he's back in the fold now, Kevin. We'll see if he can pick right up where he left off.
And in the grand scheme of things, that injury, not that big a deal. A little bit longer, and it may have been.
And a look at the starters for the Pistons. Marcus Morris is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Reggie Jackson. Then it's Jody Meeks. And it's Drummond in at the 5 spot. Well, last season, the Pistons didn't reach the playoffs for the 6th consecutive season. They're making progress, but as we can all see, still have a lot of work to do.
Yeah, you know, they were spoiled for a while there. How about going to the playoffs for 1996 to 2009? So it's been a rough stretch here of late, but you get the feeling that the building blocks are in place for another push.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. It's a 3-point game. They set the pick. 6 on the shot clock. Jackson dishes to Meeks. And he can't answer back. The 3-pointer offline.
And I bet most people forget that the Pistons did make the playoffs for 8 straight years before this current drought. It's been a long rebuild process for them recently, but I think they're making progress and moving in the right direction.
Jackson with it. He's coming off a 16-point game against Cleveland.
Yeah, but he set up shop at the free throw line. I mean, he just could not be defended out on the floor. Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did, but boy, that was a nice job.
Here's Wiggins following the score by Reggie Jackson. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And for the Pistons, they seem to have a direction and plan now that just wasn't the case before. It won't be easy to get back into the postseason, but I really feel like they are on the right path.
1 year out from the big Kevin Love for Andrew Wiggins trade, and you have to think that the Wolves are pleased. Wiggins, Clark, has looked amazing.
Yeah, to get talent from a player who wants out is one thing. To get a player of Wiggins' caliber is a whole nother level, and that's a good get for the Wolves.
Good on the second free throw.
And for the Love and Wiggins trade, we knew that it could take several years to properly evaluate, but Wiggins was just so good his rookie season.
And the Timberwolves with possession. Last game matched up with the Magic. A tough loss there.
And one of the factors, Kevin, that really hurt them in that game, the lack of success at the foul line. We all know how much those free throw woes can cost you.
And it gave those opposing fans a boost every time another foul shot clanged off the rim. I mean, that's an easy way to get the home crowd in your grill.
And I think that is a key part. Wiggins was so much better than anyone expected as a rookie. People figured it would take him several years to develop, but he was the most NBA-ready player of the class, and I think that caught a lot of people off guard.
Now, here is Morris. After the miss from Karl Anthony Towns, Pistons passing it around. 4 on the clock. The drive by Jackson. The putback, and it's Drummond with the jam. And this game is tied up now.
Kev, he came out of nowhere to slam that one back in.
Well, that's making him pay for letting him get his hands on that rebound.
Yeah, is it ever? I mean, I doubt we'll see them make that mistake again.
Now, here is Miller. Currently averaging almost 6 points a game. Here's Wiggins. Here's Towns. Another shot. He's now 1 for 2 with that bucket.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Ilyasova, a screen on Miller. Jackson kicks to Ilyasova. And he misses the go-ahead basket. The Timberwolves have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Martin with the bucket.
And he's starting to get what he wants here early and often. Nice move.
Pistons trail by 4. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Poked away. Kevin Garnett with the steal. So it's Detroit now. Ilyasova passes to Morris. Outside Jackson. It's stolen by Martin. Here's Wiggins. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came upright with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Minnesota. Right wing, and the wide open shot from Morris. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Morris has got his first basket of the night. Timberwolves leading by 4. Now Miller. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Outside Martin. Back to Miller. And stolen by Drummond. Here we go, all alone. Meeks, good.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And it's one thing to get the steal, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, even better.
There's Miller with the 3, and another 3 for Minnesota.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And now the first time I've called here for Detroit. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
Yeah, a pair of losses for them in their meetings last season. And the cold, hard truth about it, they just had a hard time beating anybody last year.
You know, Greg, those were games where you thought they could get a win. But now they need to forget about it. It's in the past, let it go, and they've got to focus on the present and try to make a better run of it this time.
And the Pistons, an entirely new group now out there. Jennings against Miller. Jennings drives in, hits the front of the rim and out.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Pistons trail by 5. The pass to Baines, to the middle. And the foul called on Andre Miller. Here is Tolliver. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. They set the pick. Jennings dishes to Johnson. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
And trailing here in the first, you'd like to see them be a little more aggressive on the offensive glass.
Yeah, I agree. Not a lot of activity chasing down their misses. Some teams focus on getting back. I understand that. But you should send at least one guy after those.
Fires from 18. And Towns gets it to go.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
Timberwolves leading by 5. A minute 50 left to play here in the first. Martin attacking. Down it goes for his 3rd basket in as many tries.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Miller against Jennings, and the shot is good. Here's Miller. 1:19 left to play in the first quarter. He feeds it to Wiggins. Shot clock at 5. Shot from the top of the key. Misses off the left iron.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
To the inside, Tolliver. The shot's good. Jennings making the play. And now just a 3-point Minnesota lead.
An excellent display of passing out there, fellas. I mean, 8 of their last 10 points have been assisted on.
And they just keep finding the open man.
Now here is Miller. Here's Towns. Down it goes. His 3rd basket. He's now 3 for 4. Pistons trail by 5. Jennings kicks to Baines. Johnson, a wide open look, and he's good on the 3 ball.
And both teams on fire from the opening tip.
Well, I don't doubt it, Greg. We're going to have an entertaining game of basketball here today. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that's the case.
Now here is Miller. Lets the 3 fly. Kept alive.
Hey, they got the shot they wanted off of that pick, but it just doesn't fall.
Yeah, it didn't go down, but you'll take that shot every single time, Greg. That's good offense. Boy, you got to love that nice assist by Jennings.
Tie game in Minnesota. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
It's just been a long-range battle for them and one that they're winning right now.
Yeah, sharp shooting from deep, a big part of why they're up.
And Detroit, looking at who they've got. We've got Marcus Morris. Andre Drummond is out there with Ilyasova. Then there's Jackson, and it's Meeks in at the 2. Now here's Ilyasova. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. 6 to shoot. It's Jackson with the drive. They now take the lead. Jackson's got the opening field goal of the second quarter for Detroit.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
And guys, how about Ilyasova last season shooting the basketball? Always a decent threat to score. His improvements in efficiency were amazing. He increased his field goal accuracy from 41 to 47% in only 1 year.
Miller, no luck.
You could see it in his eyes. It became mano-mano. He wanted to return the favor with that 3, but just didn't get it to go.
Here's Drummond. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and 1.
And we were talking about Ilyasova. There's a reason his field goal percentage went up last season. It wasn't necessarily better shooting. It was probably better shot selection.
And I think the scheme played to his strengths. Lots of ball movement, penetration, kicking out to open spot-up shooters. Ersan showed us that's his kind of game.
And he can't hit the second. Last season for the Timberwolves, it was a struggle most of the season. Young teams tend to do that, but they didn't have, unfortunately, Greg, much luck at home.
You know, they basically limped their way to a league-worst 9-32 record at home. Part of taking your lumps as a young team. Let's see how they respond this season.
Now here's Jackson after the miss from Kevin Garnett. Not enough on that one as it misses.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control. Even though he's going at breakneck speed, he still maintains his body control.
Jang, he's checked in for Minnesota. Ricky Rubio comes in for Miller.
You know, not everything was bad for the Wolves at home. I mean, they did have several highlight reel plays and also found their way to the foul line a lot. Biggest free throw differential at home in the league last season.
Now here's Jackson. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Detroit leading by 3.
And really, the problem for the Wolves at home is the same problem they had all season. I mean, their defense was atrocious. Worst field goal percentage against at home in the entire league last season.
Pistons have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Jackson misses. For the Detroit Pistons, they won their last contest, that game against Cleveland.
And the way they attacked the basket in that game was unreal. I mean, after a while, the defenders seemed to just wave the white flag.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, that's what will happen when a team continues to attack the basket and come away with layups. The defense tends to get demoralized and deflated.
Rubio, the pass to Dang. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
And Detroit has possession after the basket by Minnesota. The drive by Jackson. Again, the miss by Jackson.
A little ambitious on that possession, trying to hit a shot in the face of that defensive pressure.
Towns, no luck. Jang, an amazing finish with a hand right in his face. And now it's just a 4-point Piston lead. Detroit's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. And they double up Jackson. And stolen by Jang. Jumps up, throws down the breakaway jam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
And guys, in a game this snug, moments like that are the ones we usually look back on at the end as a difference maker.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Minnesota. He kicks to Meeks. Drummond the screen. Meeks can't hit. Minnesota's gone 0 of 3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Rubio outside from past the arc. That's good. And the Timberwolves lead by 1.
Yeah, good-looking bounce pass to set up that one.
The Pistons shooting at 48% from the floor. Looking good. Jackson dishes to Drummond. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Drummond's got 5 points in the quarter. The Timberwolves have gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. And Rubio kicks to Towns. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
That's his second personal.
And let's take a moment here to get your guys' take on scoring so far for the Pistons.
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've also gotten into a nice rhythm from the three-point line early on tonight.
It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right.
And, you know, even though the Wolves have been out of the playoffs so long, you get the sense it won't be too much longer. They've got a really nice core to build around, and I think could be special, especially Andrew Wiggins.
Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
Yeah, but neither team really able to jump ahead.
Yeah, it reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
Hang time on that rim, puts a little whipped cream on that angel food cake there.
It's a tight ball game, and those displays of strength, Clark, can get one team rolling.
Agreed.
And also the other on its heels. Let's see how this one turns out.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
And as you mentioned, the Wolves could be back in the playoffs in due time. They are headed in the right direction. Some mistakes have been made along the way, but you have to like their future now.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
Some changes for Minnesota. Adrian Payne's checked in for Bielitsa, and Levine subbed in for Towns. The Timberwolves shooting the 6th attempt at the free throw line tonight.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Johnson, good.
And guarding him on the perimeter isn't a priority for them right now, but if this continues, it will be.
2 minutes.
Passes to Muhammad. There's a good screen. Rubio, the pass to Levine. And he uses the glass on the layup. Levine's got it all tied up now for Minnesota. Greg, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
And so it's Minnesota with it after the basket by Detroit. And there's the whistle. That goes on Adrian Payne. That is his first foul of the game. Minnesota making some changes. Gorgie Dang comes in for Adrian Payne, and Jones subbed in for Ricky Rubio. 1:19 left here in the second.
Timeout. Start it.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And Ricky Rubio, one of the youngest international basketball stars ever. We started hearing about him in the U.S. back when he was 16. And even then, powerful teams in Europe were all vying for his services.
Ricky Rubio checked in for Minnesota. .116 left in the first half of basketball. And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. And going back to Rubio, Clark, his natural instincts in every phase of the game, as Greg was just talking about, are really second to none. In 06, he led Spain to a championship, registering 3 triple-doubles and 1 quadruple-double. Wow.
And despite those gaudy numbers, you just never know with an international star if, in fact, his game will translate to the NBA. Rubio's game obviously has.
Here's Jennings following the basket by Nikola Pekovic, and Caldwell Pope gets the basket.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Kicks it to Muhammad from deep three-point range. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. And it's 6 points for Shabazz Muhammad.
How can you forget about him? I mean, he's not going to miss that open of a look.
Dishes it to Tolliver. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Shot and game clock separated by 5. Detroit leading by 3. And now here's Johnson, a fast break chance. Jennings against Rubio. Johnson kicks to Caldwell Pope. And it's off from three-point range. And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. Pistons lead by 3. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Kevin, I'm here with Ricky Rubio. And Ricky, you guys had a tough battle on your hands tonight. What do you think the adjustments are that you might make for the second half?
We got a lot of turnovers. They got a lot of layups, and that can happen. We have to take care of the ball.
Taking care of the ball, always crucial, Ricky. Thank you. Kevin?
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody, to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Hope you've been enjoying the excitement so far. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. It was a closely contested first quarter for Detroit. During one stretch, they trailed by 7, never falling behind too far. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, they're playing some unselfish basketball here tonight, Ernie. Guys aren't trying to take the defense 1-on-5. They're moving the basketball and finding the open man. And then, of course, the open man is finishing, so no problem here tonight.
How about you, Shaq? What'd you think about Minnesota?
You know, 2 things went on in the first half. Yes, we saw good offense take advantage of mediocre defense, but we also saw a motivated team take advantage of a team that didn't want to hustle. They need an attitude adjustment.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Really an incredible game from Kevin Martin.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
Martin and Wiggins out on the perimeter. Garnett out there with Towns, and it's Miller in at the point guard. So that's the Timberwolves 5. Now here's Jackson. It's rebounded by Towns. Towns has got his 4th rebound in this one. The dish to Wiggins. Rebound by Ilyasova. Ilyasova's got his third rebound tonight. Jackson against Martin. Outside Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Detroit needs to get off a shot here. Here's Ilyasova. The rebound by Garnett.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
Inside, here's Towns. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Towns has got the first basket of the second half. That one for the Timberwolves. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. It's stolen by Martin. And now running it up the court. Martin pushing it up. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
One heck of a game. I mean, guys, this has been outstanding in terms of the effort that both sides have been able to put on.
I'm looking over there at Greg. He's enjoying every second of it,
Yes,
Clark.
yeah.
Listen, the fans, guys, are getting their money's worth. Heck, I should have paid to watch this one. It's been a nail-biter.
And here's Miller. Garnett, right side. And stolen by Ilyasova. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And Jody Meeks last season, coming off the best effort of his career the year before, signed a big contract with the Pistons. They thought he'd be their designated three-point shooter. Instead, he missed the first 22 games with a back injury and just never really got in sync.
And so Meeks nails both of them. Now for Jody Meeks, we were just talking about with Greg last year, Clark. He did have a game where he rained 9 3-pointers on Orlando, just one short of the Pistons' all-time record.
Well, it's all about rhythm for him. I tell you where he finally found some rhythm last month of the season. I mean, he shot 57% from the field and 44% from behind the arc. And guys, as we all know, Kevin Garnett is one of the very best power forwards ever to play the game. I mean, was passed by Tim Duncan last year for total rebounds by active players. Still an amazing statistic among many for KG, a future Hall of Famer.
And for KG, the last 3 seasons have obviously been very, very tough. His injuries and declining athleticism have led to down numbers really across the board.
Yeah, I mean, his role now has transformed. He's more of a clubhouse leader, a mentor to the up-and-comers, an extra coach, if you will, in game and on the sidelines.
Both free throws good from Kevin Garnett.
Well done again. He doesn't have the same problems at the line that plague some of the NBA's other big men.
Jackson dishes to Drummond. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Drummond's got 9.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
They're doing work here in the second half, 3 or 4 to start.
Jackson passes to Drummond. Miller with the double team. Jackson drives in. Morris outside. And Drummond kicks to Meeks. Just 5 on the clock. Jackson misses.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
Martin wide open. He fires. Rebound, Detroit. Drummond's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Over to the wing. It's Meeks outside. Rebound, Minnesota. Garnett's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Jackson against Miller. Garnett, the screen. And again, it's Andre Miller. Miller's got 6 here in this quarter.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 of them have been three-pointers.
And clearly it's about how poorly the defense has played. They've got to close out faster. Good. Back at you. I mean, they immediately get those 3 points back.
Trading spray guns from long range, trading blows from behind the arc.
Now here's Towns. 10 points for him.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
No good. The Pistons go the other way with it. Over to the wing, and here's Ilyasova outside. Here's Drummond, and the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns. And a different look here for the Pistons. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Ilyasova. Johnson comes in for Marcus Morris. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Meeks. And it's Jennings in for Reggie Jackson.
And really, last season was one of improvement for the Pistons. They were able to shoot the ball better and better as the season wore on. Overall, they cut out the little mistakes that had bothered them back in 14.
Caldwell-Pope dishes to Jennings. To the middle, here's Baines. The shot's good on the assist by Jennings. Jennings has got assist number 8 here in this one already. Minnesota's gone past the three-point line for 13 of their shots. They're 6 of 13. Garnett, the screen. Miller against Jennings. Pekovic inside, blanketed by the D, fights to the rim for the layup. Pekovic has got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves. The Pistons have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. Drummond with it, now guarded by Pekovic. Great open look there. And that's now 9 points for Johnson.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Now here's Garnett. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Shots good by Miller.
And you know what? He's got a new BFF. It's the triple.
And it has been his BFF today anyway. Most of his points have been courtesy of the deep ball.
Jennings against Miller. Drummond a screen. Jennings drives in. And Andre Drummond, the bucket on the assist from Brandon Jennings.
Oh, man, how about the last-minute decision there to pull the shot down and get a better one for your teammate?
Outside, Martin. They set the pick for the lead. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
1:25 left to play here in the third. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Yeah, it looks like he saw some things out there that need to be adjusted, and he's going to take a break here and talk it over.
Hey, you know, coaches sometimes need a break in the action to rethink and retool a bit. Anytime you're in that situation, it makes sense to use the timeout.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Zhang's checked in, and a switcher also for Detroit. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Drummond. Outside Jennings. And here's Johnson outside. That falls. Great assist by Brandon Jennings. Jennings has got assist number 10 tonight with that last one. Timberwolves trail. 2:53 left in the third quarter of the game. Miller, the pass to Martin. Snatched away. And stolen by Jang. And Pekovic kicks to Zhang. The rebound by Johnson. Detroit's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Pass to Caldwell Pope. Can't cash in from close range. Minnesota's gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. So for the Pistons, Ilyasova comes in for Aaron Baines, and Marcus Morris subbed in for Anthony Tolliver. "30 seconds left here in the third quarter. The Pistons shooting a stellar 60% since the halftime break. Miller against Jennings, and stolen by Miller. Wiggins outside. The Timberwolves again can't hit. Jennings dishes to Caldwell Pope. Morris passes to Jennings. Here's Caldwell Pope. Great D that time from Martin. And as we finish the third quarter, it's still close. Both teams trading baskets. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. Minnesota shooting 59% up to this point. They're working for great shots, and they're hitting them. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth, we've got Marcus Morris. Reggie Jackson out there with Jody Meeks. Then it's Johnson, and it's Ilyasova in at the center, filling out the middle. Johnson outside. Lets it go from deep. And the rebound goes to Martin. Martin's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Fires from deep. Rebound, Detroit. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Jackson has the open look. Drains the three-pointer. And the Pistons lead by 3.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Miller kicks to Wiggins. Here's the screen. Miller outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Miller's got it all tied up now for the Timberwolves. Jackson against Miller. And stolen by Jang. And now the Timberwolves on the break. And finished off by Martin.
Just a great battle these two teams are waging here today.
Boy, it sure is. And I'm getting the sense that this game could end up being decided by just 1 or 2 plays down the stretch.
Here's Jackson after the basket by Minnesota. And they cash in right away with the quick shot.
And you're starting to see some tired legs on those defenders as we come down the stretch here, Clark.
Down low, here's Towns. That one falls through. It's his 6th make from the floor this game, now 6 for 10.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside.
Muhammad, he's checked in for Minnesota. And a switcher also for Detroit. Drummond's checked in. 2nd minute off the clock now in the 4th. Jackson with it, and it's Miller picking him up. A 3 from Morris, can't get it to go. And Minnesota will come the other way. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Wiggins with the ball.
And I like how he puts himself in position there to finish on the break.
Yeah, you know, that's what we call seeing and feeling the game. Excellent read of how that play was going to develop and where the ball was going. That's stuff that you oftentimes can't teach, Greg.
And with that shot, the Timberwolves lead is cut down to just 2 points with the bucket from Morris.
Loose D here. Critical stretch. I mean, you better off sending them to the free throw lines than to have them get that good a look.
Now here's Jang. Again, Wiggins missing.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
The drive by Jackson. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Pass to Dang. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Andre Drummond picks one up. You look at Gorgie Jang and his development in the league out of Louisville. What a big jump for him last season.
And that's a great point. That first year, you could tell the game's a little too fast, and he was a bit overwhelmed, but started to get more and more minutes throughout the season and really blossomed with the extra opportunity.
And Jang last season doubled his points per game, got enough rebounds where he could be a double-double player every night in the near future.
Kevin Garnett is checked in for Minnesota. Ricky Rubio comes in for Andre Miller. He hits both from the stripe.
And Yang isn't a young player by any means, but he has learned how to fill a niche on a team quickly. Just offers good numbers and intangibles in a lot of places on the stat sheet. Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Minnesota making a switch here. Levine's checked in. Now, here is Morris. Ilyasova can't hit. Now here's Towns. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Clock at 6. Here's Rubio. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And the Timberwolves lead by 4.
Boy, this game has really started to heat up. I didn't think it could get any more high scoring than it already was.
Well, I tell you what, I don't mind it. You don't either, it sounds like. Good offense is entertaining, and that's exactly what we're getting.
Timberwolves have gone 6 of 8 from the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. Here's Towns. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. Rubio's got his 6th assist on the night. Jackson against Rubio. The drive by Jackson. Here's Morris. The 19-footer is on the money. Minnesota calls timeout.
And guys, Reggie Jackson was at the end of a yo-yo last season. He starts at Oklahoma for an injured Westbrook. Westbrook comes back, sends Jackson to the bench. Then Oklahoma sends Jackson to Detroit, where he fills in for another injured starter in Brandon Jennings for the rest of the year.
Now getting back to Jackson, he showed several times last season that he has that starter ability. The Thunder knew they wouldn't have the money to re-sign him, Clark, in free agency, so they traded him to avoid losing him for nothing.
Yeah, that's a good move. And with the Pistons, Jackson finished the season strong, while the Thunder, without Jackson or Durant's contributions, missed the playoffs for the first time in years.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Flip Saunders was just going over the plan with his team. He tried to really fire them up to bring it home, saying, all night, you have all night to rest after the final buzzer. For now, we have to lay it on the line and try to bring it home. Guys, back to you.
Now Jackson. After the missed 3 from Rubio. Jackson passes to Ilyasova. That one wide left. Minnesota in the lead. Martin goes in. Rebounded by the Pistons. Ilyasova's got his 5th rebound in this one. Drummond with a screen on Wiggins. There's the feed to Meeks to tie it up. Kevin Garnett grabs the miss. Garnett's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Martin kicks to Rubio. Takes a 3. Rubio missing again. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Morris with the ball. Now guarded by Towns. Knocked loose. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. Andre Miller's checked in for Ricky Rubio. And so it's Detroit with the ball. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Yeah, I agree with you because they're looking to tweak things to maybe get those matchups working in their favor.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Well, over the break, I listened in on Stan Van Gundy's huddle. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Drummond. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Gentlemen, some late game adjustments that could prove crucial in the game's closing moments. Kevin, over to you.
And thank you for that, Doris.
Has he risen to the challenge down the stretch, or what? 3 or 4 here in the fourth.
Miller dishes to Towns. And he jams it with authority. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
This game, as close as it's been, you really hate to see it come to an end.
I agree.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. After the basket by Minnesota. Jennings can't get it to go.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
A minute 42 left in the game. Here's Wiggins. That's good. And now it's a 3-point Timberwolves lead.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. They're down by 3. 1:31 left to play here in the fourth. .31 left to play in the final quarter. The try by Jennings.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
And a moment now to look at the scoring approach in terms of where the points are coming from for Minnesota.
They've been penetrating with a certain amount of ease, guys, just as much in this half as the first.
They've also been pounding it inside tonight and coming away with a lot of points in the paint. I call those PIPs.
Good on both. 1:27 left to play here in the fourth. Miller, the pass to Garnett. Jennings against Miller. Here's Garnett. Rebound, Detroit. Ilyasova's got his 6th rebound on the night. Jennings kicks to Ilyasova. It's back to Jennings. The lead pass was put in just the right spot.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Garnett outside. Here's the screen. 51 seconds left in the game. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Miller outside. It's good from beyond the arc.
Those are huge points.
Beyond huge, partner. I mean, they needed that bucket desperately.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 2. There's 42 seconds left in the fourth quarter. There's 42 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Here's Minnesota. The lead is 2. Feeds to Martin. He dishes it to Garnett. Yes!
And if you thought this game was over already, you're probably right.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's staring us right in the face, and we've been around long enough to know when a game is over. And this one is in that category.
Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. They trail by 4. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, coaches tell them take the easy points in a hurry and then foul as soon as possible.
Yeah, but you don't want to foul blindly, though. I think teams make a mistake when they do that. Go for the steal. See if you can force a mistake, and then see what happens after that.
Goes up off the inbound. It's good! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
How about the inbound pass there? Easy bucket.
There's 21 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet.
And you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
Sure, it's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
And an intentional foul right there.
Shooting for Minnesota, Andre Miller. At the line for 2.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
That was a critical trip to the strike. They have a 2-possession lead now.
No time to spare. They need a bucket.
Without question. Then maybe a steal or a foul to get the clock stopped as well.
And they stop the clock as soon as they can with the intentional foul.
At the line for your Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett. Taking 2 shots.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Gets the first, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
And that's exactly how you close a game out. Those free throws will bury them for sure.
Ilyasova with the ball. Nails the tray.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
5 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And now they foul and stop the clock.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
But there was no time really to be selective. Stopping the clock was the priority.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
gets the first. That gives them a 4-point cushion. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 5-point game. It's back to Jennings. It falls. And so it's the Timberwolves who come out on top here. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as Clark, they continued to wait out until the very last moment to seal it.
Yep, and it might not be the way a coach would have drawn it up or wanted it to end, but these fans loved it.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. And now time to go to Ernie Johnson, who's alongside Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Many thanks, Kevin. And now a chance to check out some of the tremendous play tonight from our Jordan player of the game. No matter what they threw at him during the second half, it seemed like he had the answer and was able to find all the shots he wanted. What are your thoughts, Kenny?
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
One thing that stood out to me was his contribution from deep. We know he can hit the 3 ball, but we saw him do a lot more damage than normal, and that really opened up the game.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.